going back to your point, James, I just think like I know that they lost their physical home, but the way that this battle has really brought Alan and what's his name and Adam
Adam.
like together
Yeah.
as part of like Corliss's squad now. Like there is so much trust that is built between those three that it's like Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. Well,
They lost their home, but
those four,
it's where
yeah.
their people go. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
So
think
and
back
they're
to
they're
that
playing at
scene.
much bigger things, right? They're playing at Westeros. They're playing at the Iron Throne. So
Hmm.
it is I think a pro it's good that like to have that like everybody's given up something here, right? I think that's a really good point of House of the Dragons overall is everybody it feels like especially through that first episode, nobody between the black and green squad is really winning. It seems like
Yeah,
who can lose more right now between the
yeah.
two.
Nobody's coming out of this, or nobody's went out of this unscathed.
No
Before it all
clean
started,
Yes.
bill.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's nobody that's clean. Not even Raina. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, yep.
She
That was
was
my
Yeah,
yep.
she was the one that was probably the cleanest at one point, and now, you know what I mean?
Yes.
She's just she is
She
so
thinks that she's betrayed everyone. She feels like no
yeah,
one's gonna forgive her, and it's just it's all downhill
running for her
in her
life. I
mental thought
mean,
process. Yeah.
yeah, I understand it, but I mean,
Hmm.
I'm real person, modern time, modern thinking. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, dude, they don't know what happened. They're never gonna know what happened. You're fine.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
she went and tried to get shelter. She's like, they're gonna come for me. I'm like, nobody knows what
Yeah.
happened. You know what I mean? Nobody's gonna be able to tell what happened.
Yeah.
It's kind of your fault. But if big picture, he brought it on himself.
Hmm.
And I mean, Rhaenyra's kids, they make some poor decisions. Let's just call a spade a spade.
Hello and welcome to the Premier Squad podcast. I am your host Jerome, and today we have game House of the Dragon season 3, episodes 1 and 2 that we'll be getting into. And what's funny enough, kind of feel like, at least to me, as like a penultimate and a finale of like a regular season into these first two, which is exciting because we really get to start off strong with these two. I have James and Grinch with me and my supporting cast. I'll be facilitating a lot of this because we have much greater experts here with me today. So, James, if you'd like to start us off, how did you feel about episodes 1 and 2 of House of the Dragon?
I gotta say, I absolutely loved it. I loved how what we started off with was it felt like a climax as soon as this episode started. Episode one,
Hmm.
season three. This was like the finale that we kind of wanted from season two, and I feel like
Yeah,
everything came to fruition. We had the Battle of the Gullet. We focused on the Valerians. We had a little bit of the Targaryen issue going on, and the way that that tragically ended towards the end of the episode, I think everything built up
yeah,
wonderfully, wonderfully, and I couldn't believe it. This is the first, this is the first episode, and then to tie into the second episode, which I felt, to your point, was a finale of like a regular season of that other show. It did everything it needed to do to move all the pieces into place.
hmm,
Um,
Yeah.
while giving us the focus for the black team, the green team, the C team. It just a lot of it is writing that made me reminiscent of the Game of Thrones proper.
yeah,
Standout things for me have to be for sure the Battle of the Gullet. I thought was incredible.
yeah,
What stood out to me more actually was the beginning of season of episode two, with the whole Rhaenyra losing her son and the aftermath of Jace. That
yeah,
really hit me, and I couldn't believe it. I was just feeling some type of way, even though knowing like that's what happened, and then seeing the emotion of it, just incredible acting all around. If I have to give maybe a point that I really did not care for, the pirate villain or the team, the trades or the triads or whatever they called them, the mercenary group,
Yeah.
Chiraco, is her name Chiraco?
the leader was not it for me. She felt like a
The one who was
cartoon
chasing
character.
Corliss?
Yeah, she did feel like a cartoon character to me, but when everything else is firing on all cylinders, shout out to the score too for just, the actual soundtrack score was
Yeah.
it's a lot darker and it sets the tone. They did it from episode one. It just sets the tone of like this is a more dreadful and this is going to be more
Hmm.
grueling of a season than the seasons past. So those are
Yeah.
kind of my like just shotgun blast thoughts in the first two episodes.
Yeah, and like really focusing in on the Battle of the Gullet. What I really appreciated is I don't know if you guys are familiar with this 1990s movie called Kids, where
Yes,
it's
sir.
like it's a lot of what happens when you give like some of the unchecked natures of adulthood to adolescence. In that case, it was using sex in between them and kind of passing HIV and STDs to each other, and like just a sickening like what kind of happens to adolescents if they're not trained properly. I felt like came back around here in the Battle of the Gullet with all of the adolescents there. It was, and the choices that Jace makes, along with Bela and Reyna, and their um, deciding to enter in the battle with Corliss and trying to help support them with the unchecked power of dragons here really led to, a very like heart wrenching end of the episode. And I think it's so perfect when like Jace falls into the water and he he turns into like a carnival game of like fish in a barrel. It's absolutely hilarious. So to see him kind of sit there and like take the arrows upon himself and just what happens when like the riders of the dragons just have had really no time to really hone in on their craft to like any sort of significance other than I got the biggest weapon on the field now.
You
So
know what's a
like,
good, oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
go
Uh,
ahead, James.
A good comparison, just writing off your point real quick. It's like when in Man of Steel, when Clark gets the suit and his powers and stuff for the
Hmm.
first, not the first time, but like it is like he gets this, he's like 24 hours of Superman, then he has to go fight Zod.
Yeah,
And all that power unchecked, he destroys an entire city. I
yeah,
just thought it was funny comparing it to your point about these kids that don't have time to train with these
yeah.
dragons, and then look what happens. And the kids reference incredible. That was Ahsoka too in that movie.
It's a deep cut.
Oh yeah. And then so beyond that too, I think like Corliss really shined here. I think one of the issues I have that a lot of people like our boy Ken has that like come around all the time is earlier when Corliss was coming off his deathbed, and then he delivers that line about like what are the ramifications, what are the consequences of my near demise, and that they own that entire section of the world. I know it's one of like a very well delivered line, but to me, I think there, if I remember correctly, there wasn't anything really shown about that. It was just him delivering the line, and I feel like you need to like show not tell type of situation there. So this is where we really got to like. I felt like we really got to see Corliss shine in terms of his maturity, his intelligence on the water, and kind of how he put everything together. Him passing through that, the way he takes over control of the ship. Grinch, if you'd like to talk a little bit more, how did you feel about how Corliss was portrayed in that fight scene?
Oh, it was what are we on? 3 seasons? It's that show and not tell, because for a season and a half, I
Hmm.
wouldn't say two, but maybe about a
Yeah,
season and a half, they gave the backstory of how he did this on the water. He's the best, sailor and the best captain in
yeah,
Westeros, and we're just kind of like taking that as word because we didn't
yeah,
see it. And so now they show like he comes up with the plan. He's like, okay, we're gonna go here, we're gonna take him over here. And even
yeah,
Alan and his first mate are just like, we shouldn't do that. Like we have direct orders
yep,
to go here. Corliss is like, nah, we're gonna go through this straight. She's gonna follow
yeah,
us, trust me. He's like, and we'll lose
yep.
her in there. They didn't quite lose
Yeah,
her because I mean
knowing,
she showed. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, knowing that because of how many of her comrades that he's taken out, he's like, she's gonna get full of herself, and she's not gonna care about anything about winning this
Yeah,
battle and direct it at me.
yeah. And he proved he was right. I mean, he didn't think she would survive it. That goes to
Yeah.
show her skills and she's a highly skilled individual as well.
Hmm.
And they made it through, but that cunningness of his, that smart, she was more cunning. He was
Yeah.
that smart leadership of, okay, I'm going to go through this, I know
Yes.
these waters. And then like you
Yes.
said, taking over the boat, like, okay, let me show you because his man was panicking. He's like, let me show you, I got
Yeah.
this.
Hey,
And
let me
he
show you how
perfectly
it's
perfectly
done.
navigated through it. Perfectly navigated
Hell
through
yeah.
it. And
And I
she
think it's
starts going
perfect.
through
Go
it.
ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, she starts going through it, and then her man is like, "Yo, we're not gonna make it." And she starts looking. It's like, "How much do you weigh in that suit?"
That's
Mhm.
hilarious. Yeah.
Takes them off, and then she's like, "Yo," everybody else starts throwing them off one by one because she knew they
Yep.
weren't gonna make it unless she had to make an executive decision. Which and
Yep.
that was great. That was a great piece of writing because I was like, "Oh yeah." I thought it was going to be they were going to get wedged in there, and then the dragon's going to come smoke them out,
Hmm.
and then that was going to be it. But for her to make it through, and then Corliss thought he had it. He thought he had it in the bag. She made it
Yeah.
through, and then she comes, rams the ship, and all hell breaks loose. It
Yep.
was great. It's one of the greatest battles I think on this show. Is probably this particular show on House of Dragons is probably the greatest battle
Yeah.
um, that they've done. And if we put it in the other show, which I know we said we wouldn't, but in the whole realm, I think it's in the top,
Hmm.
I don't know,
Yeah.
five overall of this whole
Yeah.
universe.
Do
Yeah.
you
And
think? Oh,
go
sorry.
ahead, James.
I was just gonna say, just because we're talking about the that cartoon character you all love right now. I'm just kidding. That sailor chick. Do you think she got the
Sailor
last
Moon?
laugh? Because the end of in the episode 2, we
Yeah.
have all of them looking at their home castle being burnt. And remember, in the first episode, she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna send a group over there and smoke his ass out. We're gonna, burn his whole, which they did."
Hmm.
So, and that's
Yeah.
going to hurt him. She knew that that was going to hurt her whole life's mission of this character that we just met was to go for this guy. She said to the Lannister, like, I'm going to break my contract. I don't care what contracts I made.
Yes.
We're hunting Corliss.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're dropping all the land soldiers off when we need to.
Yeah,
Right
addition
into the
by
water, letting them sit.
subtraction,
Yep.
you know?
Yep.
But
And
anyway,
like
I
we're
guess my
focusing on what we
thing
want to
is,
focus on. Go ahead.
do you think she got the last laugh on him? Because yes, she's dead, but also she burnt out their homeland, their homeland.
Yeah, it's
Nah, I'm gonna say nah.
Okay, okay.
mhm.
Because I think she burned it down, but I think she wanted the whole goal of she can burn it down and kill him and get her
Yeah.
revenge that way.
There we go.
So
There
I
we go.
mean, she
Yeah.
went 1 for 2. She went 1 for 2, but I don't think. I mean, I think she'd much rather be alive than
Hey,
Yeah.
she was Japan. Corliss was Brazil today.
yeah, yeah. She put
Oh
up
my
a
Like
she put
God.
up a grand fight. She put up a grand fight, but I mean, props to
yeah.
Alan too for. I thought he was dead. I thought
Same, same.
once they got in that water in the one-on-one, I'm like, oh, he's cooked.
Yeah.
Like no matter what,
And
and
I think that
he
was a
got it
perfect
done.
setup too, because like I'm wondering, how far they're going to take this fight when Corliss is navigating, gets out. Are they too far behind? And then it's like, nope, they're going to be right there. So the way they set that up and the whole ramming scene and the way that those two ships were as they had their person to person battle on those two ships, I thought was really well done. And like it's appropriate because Corliss is in his mid 70s. So for him to
Mm.
win that fight, I felt like would have been like a little bit of an overstep. So he gets slung into the water, and then Alan comes in as like, "Hey, I got this blood. I got the same blood. Let me follow up on my father." So him like kind of showcasing, proving himself in that situation to take her out was like yeah, just a great thing on my side that I really got a chance to appreciate.
Valerian in training.
Yeah.
And
He's Valerian by name now, though.
yep,
Mhm.
yep, yep. I
And then
love that.
going back to your point, James, I just think like I know that they lost their physical home, but the way that this battle has really brought Alan and what's his name and Adam
Adam.
like together
Yeah.
as part of like Corliss's squad now, like there is so much trust that is built between those three that it's like Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. Well,
They lost their home, but
those four,
it's where
yeah.
the people go. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
So
think
and
back
they're
to
they're
that
playing at
scene.
much bigger things, right? They're playing at Westeros. They're playing at the Iron Throne. So
Mhm.
it is I think it's good that like to have that like everybody's given up something here, right? I think that's a really good point of House of the Dragons overall is everybody it feels like especially through that first episode nobody between the black and green squad is really winning. It seems like who
Yeah,
can lose more right now between the
yeah.
two.
Nobody's coming out of this, or nobody's went. No, yeah, nobody's went out of this unscathed.
No
Before it all
clean
started,
Yes.
yeah,
kills.
Yeah.
There's nobody that's clean. Not even Reina. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, yep.
She
That was
was
my
yeah,
yep.
she was the one that was probably the cleanest at one point, and now, you know what I mean?
Yes.
She is so
She thinks that she's betrayed everyone. She feels like no one's
yeah,
gonna forgive her, and it's just it's all
running
downhill
for her
in her
life. I
mental thought
mean,
process. Yeah.
yeah, I understand it, but I mean,
Hmm.
I'm real person, modern time, modern thinking. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, dude, they don't know what happened. They're never gonna know what happened. You're fine.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
she went and tried to get shelter. She's like, they're gonna comfort me. I'm like, nobody knows what
Yeah.
happened. You know what I mean? Nobody's gonna be able to tell what happened.
Yeah.
It's kind of your fault. But if big picture, he brought it on himself.
Hmm.
And I mean, Rhaenyra's kids, they make some poor decisions. Let's just call a spade a spade.
Man,
I mean, the
I
first
just
one,
go ahead. I was just gonna say, like, it sucks that like Rhaenyra's kind of had like such a tough go, and I feel bad because I feel like the performance that she's put on has been exceptional. Like I feel like
masterful.
her acting is incredible. Yes, exactly. Like clear number one for me in terms of her acting prowess. I just feel like the decisions that have been made for her character, right? Like she gets locked, she gets. I don't know how you get put on timeout as the queen, and you're supposed to be like the queen. So that sucks.
Uh,
But like what you're about to like get at, if you want to kind of go over the two sons and kind of what they,
yeah,
their endings.
yeah.
You have
Her
to
youngest
also,
boy,
oh,
go ahead,
sorry.
James.
I was just
Go
you
ahead.
have to also take into consideration her behavior is very typical of Targaryens in power. If you
Mm,
look at the
Yeah.
history, which is something I really appreciate. From the Mad King all the way to, or I'm sorry, not even the Mad people before the Mad King, but then also to Daenerys.
Yeah.
That's just it's kind of
yeah,
like in their nature. And I appreciate this overall franchise of being very adherent to characteristics of characters and then like
yeah,
keeping these Achilles heels for
Yeah,
certain
even
characters.
Viserys, right? You kind of can see where she
Yeah,
gets the
yeah.
pause in all of her decision making.
Do you think I mean, I'm sorry if this derails the conversation, but like do you think if Rhaenyra had gone out there instead of Jace,
I think it would have been clean.
you
Like
think so?
with
Okay.
Corliss on the water, I think it's like it's all set. Corliss and Alan specific. I mean,
See, I
now
don't
we're
know,
talking
man.
about how we feel
I think
after.
opposite. I think it would have been either him or
Yeah.
her that would have died. Because remember, you have that sheep herder, whatever the fuck that dragon's called.
sheep
Uh,
Hmm.
stealer.
yeah, sheep
Sheep stealer.
stealer. Thank you.
Sheep.
Comes in and just starts causing chaos on the
Yeah.
battlefield. Like I know Rhaenyra, we haven't really seen her be like she's not like in the air what Corliss is on the water, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
That's true.
Or like
We
Damon
haven't gotten
is
that
as a with his
confirmation.
dragon. Yeah.
So I feel like the same, yeah, I think she would have been more skilled, but I still think the outcome could very much the odds of it happen the same sort of outcome with her getting an arrow to the neck, I think could have easily happened as well.
Yeah, potentially.
It could have been, but but she maybe not her herself. She's trained, and her dragon is also trained, and that's the main difference with sheep stealer is sheep stealer like it's either Chris Rock or Cat Williams. You guys can the chat. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
The bit is the tiger went tiger,
Yes.
and
Yep.
sheep stealer he's an untrained dragon. He's out in these streets fending for himself, and so
Yes.
she was able to ride him and kind of bring him in, but only for a split
Put him,
second
yeah, in a
because
general direction. But then
yeah,
right there, when it comes down to the
she,
details,
exactly. He was, he
yeah,
was cool. She gave him the commander cards. He's, doing what he does. And as soon as he gets a little bit of pain, he's like, oh, no, no, no. I don't care who it was. Everybody's getting
yeah,
laid down because he's
So
not trained.
do you
yeah,
think Rhaenyra would have put Sheep Stealer down even though it was a
yeah.
some of her relative, the Valerian kid
Yeah,
riding? You think
that's
she would have put
yeah,
it
that's a good question.
Uh,
that
Does she
decision?
murder Reina in that scene and Sheep
I mean,
Stealer?
given the ending of episode two, I mean, maybe. I
Yeah,
mean, it leans towards yes.
yeah,
Where if you will, make those kinds of decisions. But I
yeah,
don't know, just a question I wanted to pose
in
to the
that
chat.
instance, at that exact moment, yeah, because she's going full on mama bear and rage as to what happens to her son. But like, I think given time, we see what happens when she had time when she got to
Yeah.
the throne and she had to start making decisions. You know what I mean? She was like, "Be careful what you wish for," because
Hmm. Heavy
it's
is the
not
crown.
everything's yeah,
Heavy is
heavy
the
is
crown.
the head that wears the crown. And she
Yeah.
she had to make that decision and she said, I don't want to do it. I I don't want it. But you things had to be, like Damon told her, he's like, look, you have to, they're watching you. You can't look
Yeah.
weak in this
Said
instance. If you
everyone's
do,
watching.
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
and I
Yeah. I
can't
think
do
that
it for
leads
you
us.
because if he does
Yeah.
it, then it's like, well, then what are we here? What are you here for then?
Hmm.
He's
Yeah.
going to be the true king. So she had to show a sense of a show of force and strength in that moment. And like, I don't think when you're talking hypothetically, I don't think she would have been able to do it if she would have been given time and thought about what happened to Jace and the whole situation. I don't think she would have been able to
Hmm.
do it. But in the moment on the battlefield, yeah, she would have lit her ass up quick.
Okay. No, yep. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a great
yeah.
point. And I
I'm
think
sorry,
that leads us
Jerome.
right into. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry I
I was
derailed
gonna.
your point you were trying to
No, you're
make.
fine. No, you're good. But that kind of leads us right into like episode two now that like as we've kind of gone through these three seasons with these characters, like I had brought up earlier, to me it feels like there's nobody's like coming out of here in the positive. You're
Hmm.
not winning. You're winning because you're not losing as much as you're not making as many bad decisions as the other side. And I think that's actually a fascinating point. Um, how are we feeling about like Rhaenyra being able to access the throne here and like this whole green and black battle that we're kind of going on into the third season.
You know
How do we
what?
feel like who's
What's
really losing here the most? Which of these characters?
That's a great question, Jerome. And it's funny because like we're always talking about the greens and the blacks. Um,
Yeah,
you know who also lost a lot, and I know we don't want to like talk about this. Aegon the Second, man. That man's been through it. That man,
yeah,
like his entire body, he's physically like disabled, and every move is painful for him. And he's in
yeah,
one of the most like vulnerable positions, more so than any of the other power players in the show so far.
yeah.
Uh, so you have to throw him in there in terms of because he
Off
is
of
going to
his
be,
own bad decision making, like
yeah,
it's so the theme in this.
yes, yes, and then like you have Lara's Strong over there being his like
Yeah,
quote unquote bodyguard
I know,
advisor.
and it literally makes the best decision possible once he like gives off and
Yep.
he disrespects that whoever that little commandeer
Yeah,
was to his
yeah, yeah.
face.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now
He's
we
like,
have
well,
to. That's the card we have to. He just had that card ready to
hey,
play.
this is the king.
Yeah,
This is the one of the heir apparents.
yeah.
He's all you played
Because
yourself.
we're not making the next 5 minutes alive if I don't play this card right now and get us. Just take us to the queen. Bring us
Yeah.
alive. Like that was the best play to make there because like we're just continuing to make the worst decision possible in every instance.
And I do think he's going to start learning a lot of these characters too. Like I feel like Aegon the Second is going to start learning and becoming a better. He's going to be more and more of a threat as it goes on. As of right
Hmm.
now, he's like the lowest. Allison and Rhaenyra, I feel are going to continue to deteriorate.
Yeah,
Well, whereas they were like the high, like in terms of like their stature, and now they're starting to like kind of like the decisions of all the consequences of all their actions are starting to like have effect on them. And I
yeah.
wanted to bring up my favorite scene from episode for so far from these two episodes is not the
Hmm.
action scene. It's actually the beginning of episode two, where she's
Mm.
trying to talk to her son as if like, hey, like she's mad
Yeah,
Yeah.
at him, trying to scold him, but like he's
yeah,
dead, like he's a corpse. And just the acting, like to your point, was so powerful. Like if this girl doesn't get nominated at least for
yeah.
an Emmy for this, just the nomination, she absolutely deserves it. It's yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah. That grief just it was too much. Like her mind couldn't comprehend what was physically happening in front of her. And
Hmm.
Yeah,
it just wasn't clicking. It wasn't clicking, it wasn't clicking, it wasn't clicking.
yeah.
And then it finally settled in and
Yeah, she
she
goes through
was
the first
done.
time with him, just
Yeah.
scolding him,
Yep.
pissed off at him. Then it was the
Yep.
break where what's his name tries to pull her off, kind of let her know what's going on. And then she has the grief of like, I
Yep.
lost you. I lost you in that second wave. Um, yeah, and I think like once again, like kind of going through these different characters, like where Allison and Helena are, I kind of want to like explore this theme of like everybody is in like in a very tough spot on both sides of this right now. I mean, And even though Rhaenyra holds the throne, the way that her face was as she's sitting down is so
Yep.
perfect into like the through theme here of just, is any of this worth it?
Yeah.
It's just a
Yeah.
lot of self-destruction from every character on
Yeah,
here.
how do you think
So yeah,
Yeah.
Allison feels
yeah,
being like, hey, I'm the one that put Rhaenyra there, and because of that, Otto got executed, which,
yeah.
by the way, I thought they were going to keep Otto for another, like season, the next season or whatever. And
Nope.
like, I thought it was such a bold decision that they were like,
Yeah.
oh, here he is again. And he's a threat, but like, Allison still has her feelings on it. And Rhaenyra
Mhm.
has her, feelings on it because of his allegiance and
Yeah.
the fact that they just like hit him right there. I'm like, oh my God, this is yeah, that was a big thing. It's one of those like it's almost I call it the Ned Stark moment in terms of
Mm.
that's more of a representation of what Game of Thrones does when you think it's going to go one way and then it goes the other way.
Mhm.
Somebody
And
had to go. Like
yeah, yeah,
somebody had to go. She couldn't get to Aegon, and that was about the only thing that they had at the moment. I
Yeah.
great
don't
point.
I don't maybe I'm missing the levity of it. I understand it from a storytelling standpoint if somebody had to go, but I'm like he's been locked up for who knows how long at this point. He's no longer the
Mhm.
hand. It's like what is that really going to do? You know what I mean? Because she didn't
Yeah.
know where Allison was. So if Allison would have never showed up and she just chopped his head off, I understand somebody had to die, but are the people really going to be satisfied with that? Because he wasn't a threat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he was
But
also the
from
former Hand of the King, so
a former though, former, what is
yes, former.
now he's just a prisoner. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So she could have chopped anybody's head off in the grand scheme of things at that point.
True, but they
Yeah.
needed a name, somebody with a name.
Yeah, yeah,
This is
Yep.
somebody with a
Now,
name.
and that was
yeah,
all that was left because everybody's
yeah,
just gone.
Hmm.
Everybody's gone. And then you can't, like, obviously it's not like if they brought Allison or Helena there that would work because those are the two people that got her in.
yeah.
Yeah.
She
You know,
wasn't going
so
to do that.
and I really appreciated too, like, once again, I don't know, her indecisiveness I think is played appropriately here. I don't mean that as a negative to her character, but like having to like go does not, I feel like she did not want to go through Otto, but because Damon's in her ear, as
Yeah,
he always has been,
Hmm.
that first strike comes
yeah.
down and doesn't even hit his neck, just hits him in the back, and
No,
it's like,
Yeah,
oh
she
my
yeah.
closes
god,
her
and it
eyes
has to
because
be. Yes.
she closes her eyes when she does it because
Hmm.
this is not what she does, and
Yes.
like she said, she's like I don't want to do this, and so
Yeah.
she tried, um, but oh I see the note. Okay, got it. So she tried, but then it was just like you know it just wasn't what she was here to do, and then she got it on the second swipe, but
Hmm.
I lost my train of thought real quick. Uh,
You're good.
no, it's all good. Go ahead.
No, but
I'll get it
so it's
back.
Allison. How do you guys feel this is gonna work for Allison being like, ah man, like I got you here, and then you kill my homie, or you kill
Yeah.
my dad? Like,
I think she'll be all right.
yeah, yeah,
I think
It
she's
did,
going to
did
be all
seem like
right
she
from the
like she
sense.
took it personally, and then it looked like Rhaenyra's face kind of switched, like like she's accepting who she has to be. She's
Yeah,
accepting the
yeah,
disgust that comes
yep.
with the
yeah.
battle for the Iron Throne.
And you
It's
wanted this
the
throne.
realization that this is what it takes now. She got over that
Yeah.
first hurdle, and now she's like she realizes, okay, I'm gonna have to get in the mud, and you
Yeah.
know
Yep.
that's remember what it was. Her Rhaenyra basically through the whole time she's
Yeah.
calculating, and she thinks about her decisions and what's it gonna cost
Hmm.
and how much it's gonna cost.
Yeah.
She's very very calculating, and so that's why it takes her so long to think and do things
Yeah.
because she for the most part she's trying to be fair because she
Yeah.
life hasn't been fair to her the last few years, so she's
Yep.
trying to be fair and rule and make decisions as to what can the best possible outcome with the least amount of bloodshed was what
Yes.
she was hoping for. But then, we've
Yep.
seen over the years, she has to when she has to make a decision, they're just like, hey, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And she's like, all right, well, we're just gonna do this. And she has to live with it and she hates it. And now I think on that when she sat on the throne, it was all that. It was fearfulness of doing it, not wanting to do it, be
Hmm.
careful what you wish for, not wanting it. And then at the very end, she's like, all right, this is what I want. This is what I signed up to do, and this is what I'm gonna have to do from now on. And I
Yep.
think
Yeah.
Allison is gonna, because she doesn't have Mysterio with her right now, and so I think Allison is gonna be kind of her sounding board and kind of the person she's probably gonna trust somewhat now. I think they're gonna start mending their friendship a little bit because Allison
Oh, you
did,
think
she gave
so?
her the
Okay.
keys. Yeah, she gave
Yeah.
her the keys. She kept her word. She did everything she was supposed to do. Doesn't erase all the other stuff she's been doing, but at least it's a
Yeah.
bridge. And so I think they're
Yeah.
gonna work, but I think they're gonna be at arm's length with each other. I don't think
You don't
Rhaenyra's
think
gonna
And
outright trust her.
the bridge was just like kind of severed after she cut her dad's head off?
I
like it's
mean,
going to be interesting because yeah, because once again like from Allison's perspective, and I think leading up to this point too, she's had to make so many crazy decisions because she's got her son kissing her on the mouth, just looking at her some type of
Oh
way,
yeah, so her
popping out
dad
the
getting
blue
uh,
and wanting to
beheaded
get
ain't
back
nothing
in
but a
apparently.
thing, just
Like
yeah,
and even beyond that, right? The way that Eamon has just let loose and like, well, I'm in power. I'm just like the set, fire to everything, has put her in a very tough position with everything that she's gone through to have to make the best of these decisions and getting involved with Rhaenyra and that decision making. It's yeah, now it's like, well, yeah, my dad's dead, but now what can I do in this situation?
stay
well,
alive by any
yeah,
means
yeah,
necessary.
yeah,
Yeah.
survive, just as what her dad would have taught her. But okay, so
Yeah.
that's Allison taken care of. What about the other two high towers? Ormond and that other dude, that's with Christian Cole. Those are both
Oh,
people
her
who are
brother.
related
Yeah,
to.
I just don't like I don't know because like Cole's out there halfway over to where Eamon's at, correct? In the forest.
Yeah.
So they're kind of up in the air now for like what's going on with him. Like Cole's on his thing. It's just yeah, it's interesting because now if we head over to Eamon, he's not having the best time right now. I'm wondering if because so he shows up to the broken down castle, and Vagar's
The
having
Heron
the
Hall.
time of her life, getting
Hmm.
to reburn. I think that's the same castle she destroyed, right?
Yeah.
Previously.
Yeah.
So she gets to live her old heyday over again. He pops in, starts killing everybody, and then that's why this was kind of the rough thing that has like him just kind of getting stabbed in the back. I'm wondering if the witch is playing something on him right now because for him to kind of just fall over like that, I felt was like a little weird. How did you guys feel about where Eamon's at right now?
I feel it might be asset for the witch to use because she feels like
Yeah.
she was slighted by Damon, and I
Hmm.
bet you
Yep.
Damon's gonna live or die to regret kind of cross because like she wanted what did she want? She wanted
She wanted Heron Hall.
What a
She
town?
wanted
Yeah,
Harrenhal,
the
she wanted
and
to yeah,
Damon was like,
a
I wasn't
castle.
gonna give that to you. You ain't nothing but a
Yeah.
thing. And then she's like, I got no need for rupees or whatever the
yeah.
Hmm.
currency is. And then now she probably sees Aemond as like a way to get what she
Yeah,
wants.
from Damon to Eamon. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, I do think she probably will find a way to manipulate that and use Aemon to her advantage. I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
Most likely, because I mean, like you were saying, Jerome, like Eamon, another, I wouldn't say poor decision making, but oh, he's, whatever, 19 maybe, 19, 20 maybe.
Yeah.
And just that
Yes.
youthfulness of
Of
like
adolescent.
youthful ignorance, going in there, cutting up
yeah.
everything, destroying the castle. And he came in there and what happened? He got too cocky and turned his back, got sliced in the back, and now he's damn near dead
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
pleading for his life from someone who he doesn't even know.
Mm.
Yeah.
And if he would just went about it differently, like when he's like, basically telling the dude pick up your sword, and dude's like, dude, I haven't picked up a sword in like 30 years. Like I
Yep.
got
Yeah,
nothing
like there's
for you,
like you
dog.
said, you won, and then
Yeah,
he's
he's
just
like,
like, well, I guess I'm killing anyways, and then it just sets him up
yeah,
for that. Like once again,
yeah.
yeah, it's crazy,
All he had to do was just like, all right,
crazy.
cool. Well, I'm taking this over then. But like Damon did, Damon came in there the same way. Came in, kicked the door in.
Yeah,
They were having dinner. Like Damon's like, this is mine now. They're like, all right, cool, you got it.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's a
no, we're
good
like we're
point.
still eating. They're
Great
like, you
point, Rich.
come in,
Great
take what
point.
you want, but then you start
Yeah,
taking lives, and people get
I
yeah,
love how
obviously
they
are
mirror
like less
that.
family members.
That's
Yeah,
really cool that they mirror like these two different Targaryens coming in here to the same castle, to the same family,
yeah.
and
hmm
just kind of showing how Damon last season,
That experience, that experience in youth.
yeah,
yeah.
or the
But yeah,
fragility of youth. you could say
Yeah.
too, because I mean
Yes.
this might be either his downfall or something that brings him into power. You don't know.
Yeah. Another bad decision. Like, what are the ramifications? And I think, yeah, that's like a great spot for us to kind of wrap up on is, we got the Valerians there looking at their castle destroyed. They have come together, but it's not
At
all
what cost?
positivity for them.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
That's the
Like, yeah,
theme.
they're
At what cost?
yes, at what cost? Damon's doing okay, but then yeah, Rhaenyra's losing has now lost both her sons. She has the Iron Throne, but once again, like she ain't sitting there with a big smile on her face. Um, Alicent and Helena, losing their family member, losing Alicent's dad. Aemon's on the ground. Rhaena is completely destroyed mentally.
Yeah.
This is the low for everyone. So it's going to be crazy to see how this gets even worse as this battle continues and more losses and more bad decisions are made on both sides.
Real
Um,
quick,
yeah,
do we finally trust Damon? Or does he still, do you think the vision and everything, is he still holding on to he believes it now? Or do you think he's just gonna bide his time and wait, for that one
I
moment in
think he
it's a
Stannis?
great
believes it.
question.
That is a good question. I think
Yeah.
he believes it. The way that he's like,
Yes.
the way he talks to Rhaenyra in bed to try to snap her out and like, hey, it's time to get to work. Where he's talking about this vision and all this shit. Like he's like the epitome of like that anti-religious dude who finally saw Jesus.
Hmm.
Like in so many of these other
Yeah.
franchises or
Okay.
Yeah.
stories that we watch. That's how I personally feel about it. I think he is now a believer
Yeah.
in
And I
some
would
Like,
say,
kind
I
of
would say
higher
too
power.
that I feel like he is in, yeah, faithful. Like I feel good about his faithfulness to Rhaenyra at this point, which then sets up like if he does stab her in the back or do whatever he did to like he's been planning when he was younger, like I think it makes it earned. Like, okay, we've gotten the trust back. You feel like he's part of her, he's with her now. So if they decide to make that decision, that it might be earned and it'll surprise us. But
perfect.
yeah, with that, guys, yeah, we'll see. We'll see as more bad decisions are made by these youthful characters, these family members having to lose more. We're gonna see who loses the least amount between black and green as we go about season three.
That's the
Um,
question.
That's it.
yep. Please
Who
consider
has the
liking
least
this video.
turnovers?
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Yeah, just like the NBA. That's the biggest stat, right? We've got the most turnovers, so we get to really see it play out here on the screen in House of the Dragon. But yeah, with that, guys, please consider liking the video, subscribing to our channel. Leave your comments down below about what's been the biggest gut punch to either one of these two sides, and we will catch you in the next one. Thank you.